Building bridges was an initiative of the executives, but its implementation could maybe rely heavily on the legislative arm of government. Kennedy Muredi joins us now from Parliament. Kennedy, what are the views coming out of Parliament?
Well, a good afternoon to you all there in studio. And it is actually a big day for the media fraternity and for most Kenyans who are watching us from wherever they are. And today I came to the heart of the BBI, and that is Parliament, where there are the representatives of the 290 constituencies, where the members of Parliament have been listening to the different views from their constituents, and they have actually been discussing and caucusing in small meetings about what is expected, because you'll remember that the release of this report has been one of the best kept secrets that this country has been able to witness in recent times, because it has, despite the 14-member committee, none of the information or no information has been able to leak. And this afternoon, we do expect that President Uhuru Kenyatta will be formally receiving that particular report. From what we are hearing and from what we are gathering is that there is a probability that there are a number of people who have been invited to State House. What we have been able to gather is that there are trade unionists who have actually been invited to State House this afternoon. There are members of this particular house, actually the leadership that has also been invited to that particular State House. And a few minutes ago, when we were preparing to do this live broadcast, we saw the Speaker of the National Assembly, that is Justin Muturi, just leave, and we had him tell some members of Parliament who are seeing him off, that he was headed to State House, that he had been invited, and he was supposed to be there by 1:30 o'clock. Just a few minutes before that, we were also able to meet the Senator for Bungoma, that is Moses Wetangula, and he also told us that he has been invited to State House. The House leadership and some of the leaders of political parties have also been invited to State House. We also do understand that there are some journalists, including editors, who have also been invited to this particular meeting in State House. And the understanding of this, we are being told that it is all about making sure that this report is not about a single individual, or it is not about President Uhuru Kenyatta and opposition leader Raila Odinga, but it is an inclusive report. So we do understand that this afternoon they might be given a summary report of what is entailed in this particular document. We have not gathered so much apart from that, but there are leaders from different sectors who have been invited. Then there is the meeting tomorrow, whereby they do expect that probably it will be released to the public, where President Uhuru Kenyatta is supposed to lead other Kenyans and other leaders at the Bomas of Kenya, so that they can be able to look at this report together. That is according to a message that was being sent from the office of the President, and to be specific, the Interior Ministry, where it has even written to some of the county assemblies, calling on the Speaker to release all the members of the county assembly to come into Nairobi, because we do understand that meeting, about 5,000 people have been called for that particular meeting. So all of them will be at the Bomas of Kenya tomorrow. And today's meeting at State House is a bit intimate, where not even the media has been called. But I also am joined here by the chairperson of the Constitution Implementation Oversight Committee of the National Assembly, whereby if this BBI report comes and is passed in the House after having gone probably through all the other county assemblies, it will come to his desk for implementation. Now, what is the feeling about this? What have you been hearing about this BBI report, and what do you actually want to see, and what are the expectations of probably people that you've been talking to?
One is to say finally, because this is something that we've been waiting for the last 2 years. So it will be good to receive the report so that we can deal with the anxiety that has been created in the country. As a committee, we have just come from a meeting, and we have discussed the issue of BBI, and we've agreed that immediately we receive it tomorrow, because we expect to see some form of a report tomorrow. We will be able to retreat from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, get some experts to take us through, so that we are able to give direction from an informed position. It will be a good thing to look at the document, because there are issues that Kenyans have continued to grapple with. Issues that relate to governance, issues that relate to economic empowerment, issues that relate to sharing of resources. And as a committee,
Sponsored by your committee, and that is the bill that is going to look at inclusivity. But it has been read with a lot of mischief. There are those who believe that you're trying to snooker actually the Building Bridges Initiative report. And one of the things that you did in that particular report is that you proposed that there is that inclusivity whereby the members of a particular party who are front runners actually in any presidential election, their names are among the top when it comes to the nomination list. And you've been thinking about it as one of the best ways to deal with inclusivity. But it is being looked upon as a selfish move that is being sponsored by somewhere from some different quarters in an effort to water down the Building Bridges report if it actually does recommend that.
One of our biggest problems as a country is being suspicious of anything that is done. And, but it's always good to look at the objectivity of that issue. I want to tell you that we thought through this even before the handshake. It was already going through our minds. How can we have the best runners-up outside the governance structure of a country? And he's come so close to going to State House, but the systems just lock him out overnight. And it was clear to us that we need to look for ways of opening it up, for him to have a platform where he or she can articulate what is it that he wanted to do if he had won the seat at State House. And this is one of the attempts that we had. You see, there is a law, the Constitution, because it had been, there was a lot of a push from some quarters when we were doing our Constitution. There was the intention of locking out those who ran for the presidency completely. Then it may have had some merits, but 8 years later, we can actually see it is not serving us well. Those people who run and head parties, if they are the leaders of those parties, and then you keep them away from where decisions are made, we can only be worse off as a country. So this has nothing to do with mischief. It is something that we have discussed right now. In fact, we are organizing for public participation. But we have said that with the realization that if BBI comes and has a better idea, then this small idea will give way to that better idea. But if it is not there, we will have to push on with our idea, because we believe those political leaders, people who run for presidential positions in a substantive way, cannot be kept out of the political debate. They cannot be kept out from the governance structure. The seat of the minority leader is a very crucial seat for us as a country. If we were to close it the proper way, and we have the leader, the person who doesn't win, occupying that position, he will be able to check the government in a very strong way. That is lacking now in this House because of that particular constitutional provision. So we did it in good intention. We will take it to the people in good intention. If BBI has a big idea, we will allow the big idea to take the day.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Now, we will be waiting to see whether the Building Bridges Initiative report is actually going to come up with that particular idea. But he says he's already moved ahead of time, and they've already introduced that particular bill in the House, and they're already preparing for public participation, just to gather a few ideas to see how can it be bettered and most of these bills. So his committee has actually been preparing some of these things that have been mentioned, because you'll remember that the Building Bridges Initiative team has been collecting views not just from yesterday, but it started in May last year, and it has actually gone to all the 47 counties collecting views. So the CIOC, or the Constitutional Implementation Oversight Committee, has actually been listening to those, to the different views that have been coming. And Ndaragwa MP has actually even been saying that they have been trying to conceptualize some of these ideas into bills, and this is actually one of them, though he has said that they started thinking about it even before the handshake. So at this particular moment, what we do know, Olive, is that the House leadership has actually trooped all the way to State House, and they will be having the honor of being given the preliminary report, or a summary of the Building Bridges report, which will be printed and given to Kenyans who will be at the Bomas of Kenya tomorrow. By the end of the evening, I can assure some of our viewers that we will be having a few snippets of what this bill is all about, so that we can beam it. By the time they are going into this meeting tomorrow at the Bomas of Kenya, they will be having an informed point. And that is actually the thinking that we do understand from President Uhuru Kenyatta, that they want everybody to be there, and that might have been the reason why the media was not invited to State House this afternoon to be part of the team that will be receiving the summary report. But as of now, we're just keeping an eye and listening to every view as it comes. Back to you, Olive, in studio.